This day in law, October 1st, 1937, the House of Representatives passed the Marijuana Tax Act. It stated that marijuana could not be sold without a license. However, it was nearly impossible to get issued a license. This was the first bill that led to the criminalization of cannabis. Cannabis sales have been regulated by the U.S. government since 1906. By the 1930s, smoking marijuana became common among Americans. As a result, Harry J. Anslinger, the head of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, pushed for increased restriction. With the support of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the Uniform State Narcotic Act was passed in 1935. It was intended to unify the state's control of the sales and usage of narcotic drugs, including marijuana. Initially, only 9 states joined. Anslinger then launched a propaganda campaign that showcased young Americans killing themselves or others as a result of marijuana usage, which led to all of the states then passing the act. The American Medical Association opposed the Marijuana Tax Act because the tax affected pharmacist sales and physicians' prescriptions. The ongoing debate ensued between whether cannabis was a recreational or medical drug. By 1951, the Boggs Act superseded the Marijuana Tax Act. However, the Marijuana Tax Act was still included in the Internal Revenue Code of 1954. The Boggs Act improved on the Narcotic Drugs Import and Export Act. It set mandatory sentences for drug convictions. A first offense conviction for marijuana possession could lead up to a $20,000 fine and a minimum of 2 to 10 years of imprisonment. In 1969, the Supreme Court case Leary v. United States questioned the constitutionality of the 1937 Marijuana Tax Act. Leary argued that the act violated the 5th Constitutional Amendment, essentially applying it to the same rationale used for the Stamp Act. Why would a person seeking a tax on stamps have to incriminate themselves? So the Supreme Court ruled in Leary's favor and overturned his conviction. The court then replaced the act with the Controlled Substances Act of 1970. It established the federal United States drug policy, including cannabis. Since the 1970s, the removal of marijuana from the Schedule I of Controlled Substances Act has been proposed time and time again. And even today in 2020, marijuana is still fully illegal in 11 U.S. states.